Hello and welcome to another episode of Rico'S Rants. I'm your host, Rico DiGiorgio. Okay, fuck. This shirt finally makes sense for me to wear. I mean, it half made sense because of Batman. Now I'm doing Batman v Superman. See? Watched it. Done. On all honesty, I skimmed it. I don't have enough patience to sit through 2.5 hours of this. But I skimmed it, I'm replaying it, and I'm having it play again in the background with the subtitles on. If you need proof, there is proof. And that's my makeshift light, in order to have light in my face, otherwise this gets very dark. I just showed you the creative process. I just showed you how, how the sausage is made. Yeah, enjoy that. Anyways. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Alright. I will try very hard to do a pro-con type of scenario. But immediately off the bat, pun intended, title is too fucking long. You know what they should have just called it? Man of Steel 2. Perfectly fine. Perfectly acceptable. Or Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. Something like that. The Dawn of Justice thing is DC and Warner Brothers clearly trying to be like, hey, we're starting our own Avengers thing. You know, you'll never win. You may make money, but you won't win, DC. I'm sorry. One, Marvel has got you beat by about, what is it now? Almost 10 years of them making movies that are connected. When did you guys start? 2012? Not really what you wanted to do. 2012, 2016. You're 4 years in. You've had problems with a good chunk of the movies that you're trying to make, as well as the ones that you've already made. I mean, Man of Steel was okay. Just okay. Not really how you want to start your franchise. Iron Man, on the other hand, was excellent. I could still rewatch it beginning to end and be satisfied. I cannot rewatch this fucking movie without rolling my eyes. I couldn't force myself to rewatch this. And I rewatched Batman and Robin for this channel. And Batman Forever. And The Dark Knight Rises. Although last night I actually had a bit of fun tearing that shit apart. You should go check out my review for The Dark Knight Rises. It's pretty fucking funny. It's really long. If you have any patience, get through it. Okay, so let's try and do this. I'm just going to say off the bat, again, Batfleck was the best thing in this movie. And I know a lot of people were really worried about that. They were like, oh god, Affleck as Batman, it's a terrible idea. Christian Bale should have done it. You know what? That would not have fucking worked in this movie. The reason why is because DC is trying to make as close to a comic book movie as they can, and Bale's Dark Knight works in the real world. That's why it works. Because it's realistic. It gives off the illusion to us, holy shit, Batman could live in my city. If this Batman lives in your city, you need to fucking move. That's a start. If Superman lives in your fucking city, you really need to move. And you need to, sue your fucking real estate agent if you can. Okay, so Batfleck, great. And I'll talk more about Batfleck later. I just want to kind of get through this as fast as possible. I want to try and, I know this is going to be a long video, but I'm going to try and condense it a little bit. Henry Cavill as Superman, he's not terrible. He has some issues that I have issues with. But he's not terrible. He looks the part. He's got the physique. Yeah, I mean, I thought he was okay in Man of Steel. I thought he was okay in this. But I have big fucking problems with the fact that literally every single character in the Justice League has this weird Kubrick stare down where they kind of glare at the camera. You know who should only be doing that? Batman, not Superman, not Aquaman, not Wonder Woman, not Cyborg, and not Flash. Unnecessary and really kind of, they should all be kind of chipper and happy, especially Superman. Superman should be, he is the all-American, he's the Captain America, essentially, of DC. He is the ultimate Boy Scout. Which is ironic, because right now we got a president who's against immigrants, and Superman is essentially the ultimate immigrant, and he's more American than our president. Go figure. Can I help you, Kat? In or out? Okay, so moving on. Gal Gadot, I think I'm pronouncing her name right. Gadot or Gadot, I don't know. I think it's Gadot. How low can Gadot? As Wonder Woman. She's actually really good as Wonder Woman. And I'm not a fan of Wonder Woman, so that's actually high praise for me. I think she's great. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the Wonder Woman movie. Something I never thought I'd ever fucking say in a million years. Amy Adams. I actually liked Amy Adams in Man of Steel and in this. And my reasoning why is because while Margot Kidder was great and feisty and whatever the fuck as Lois Lane in the original Superman movies, I said Supermen. Like Superman movies is plural for just Superman. Anyways, she also pissed me off because Lois Lane is supposed to be a pioneer for women. She's supposed to be a hero for young girls who are getting into comics, or women all over. Not unlike Wonder Woman herself. She's a Pulitzer-winning journalist. She's supposed to be intelligent, but in the earlier movies, especially in the old show, she's sort of dumbed down, which is a very oxymoron. And the main reason is she can't tell the difference between this and this. Now, listen, I can buy that she cannot handle that, but not in this day and age. People are getting more and more intelligent, and it is insulting to women when you try and label a woman as that dumb or that shallow when she's supposed to be a top journalist. That she is either too stupid, in which case she's incompetent and shouldn't be that successful, or she is just so shallow where she's looking at Clark Kent, who has the exact same face, exact same hair, apart from the spit curls being on one side as opposed to the other, the same exact body, and she's just like, oh, Clark, you're Clark, and kind of being rude to them. And he's, not to mention, he's even fucking nicer than Superman. Because she prefers the good-looking, muscled-up guy. And it's just insulting. So the fact that they made her aware of Superman's identity works really well. And I fully applaud it. It's actually one of the rare things I really enjoyed of Snyder and Chris Terrio and David S. Goyer. Like, that was a good decision. If it was their decision, they did a good decision. Bear in mind, that's one of the few good decisions they have made. But, like I said, I'll try and keep the negatives to later. Jeremy Irons? Fuck, man. I think he's my go-to Alfred. The last 3 videos, I talked about Michael Caine. He was a good Alfred for that Batman. But he would not work on this one. Jeremy Irons, in this one, works incredibly well. He's more cynical, because this is an older, weary, tired Batman, and he's, punching up bad guys is not really having the same effect that he had wanted. So he sort of opted to having killing be negotiable. And with a very that would not have worked with Michael Caine's Alfred, or Michael Goff's Batman. They're too killing is wrong. You shouldn't kill people. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be the enemy that you're trying to put down. You don't want to turn into your ultimate villain, which makes sense. But this Alfred would be like, you know what, motherfuckers gotta die sometimes. Wish it wouldn't, but you know what, gotta put him down somehow. Just try not to kill as much as you possibly, if you can avoid it. Snyder as director. Look, he's not a bad visual director. He actually is a very good visual director. He has an eye for cinematography and great worlds and great vision. I had no problem with the way he filmed this movie. There were some scenes that were like out of focus, and then like Superman's walking into focus. And my cat wants to wrestle, and it's aggravating the fuck out of me. So he's gonna walk right into the camera. He's gonna want to attack me. I will fuck you up, cat. So you don't fuck with me. I'm Batman, and you're Superman. I will win. See? This is what I deal with on a day-by-day basis. And there you go. Don't worry, there's a bed over there. Anyways. He's going to pounce on me any second. I know he is. So Zack Snyder is a good visual director. But unfortunately, he does not know what to fucking do when it comes to characters. He just sort of goes his own route. He doesn't care about the characters that we grew to love and have been following for years. He tries to make his own spin on it. And unfortunately, I can't just fully blame him. I have to blame David S. Goyer a lot. Which is frustrating because David S. Goyer is a comic book fan and he does know the characters. So he just went, you know what? Fuck them. Fuck the fans. Let's do this. At one point, I don't remember which one it was. I think it was David S. Goyer. David S. Goyer said, you know what? In my world, Batman could be raped in prison. Who the fuck wants to see that? And how, that's completely ruining the character. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying because he's Batman he can't be raped. I'm saying he would never let that happen, and that would just... What good would that fucking do? So, rape victims can relate to Batman? I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but at the same time, it just seems like he's really trying to make his own spin. You don't have to. Go with the classics. Go with what we like. We like a dark, brooding Batman. They got Batman pretty good in this. So, but if there was a prison rape scene, I would have lost my fucking mind. Can you imagine if they put that in that fucking movie? It's just like a bunch of goons, a gangbang, fucking Batman. At that point, if I was Ben Affleck, I would fire my fucking agent. No way, dude. Hans Zimmer comes back for another Batman pseudo movie for the music. And from what I read, he will not do Batman again because he does not agree with this Batman. He preferred Bale. You know what? There's going to be people that prefer Adam West. There's going to be people that prefer fucking Michael Keaton, myself included. There's going to be people that prefer Bale or Affleck. Virtually no people will prefer Val Kilmer or George Clooney, except for Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Ask them who they like. Oh, I like myself. You're fucking delusional. But even George Clooney was like, oh no, I was terrible. At least he has the balls to admit it. What I really liked, and I had to put this down, is for years Bob Kane has been the quote-unquote sole creator of Batman. Not true. For years, Bill Finger had definitely helped develop Batman with Bob Kane. Bob Finger was never ever credited until very recently, and this is the first time in cinema history that Bill Finger is credited. It's not Bob Kane and Bill Finger, it's Bob Kane with Bill Finger. So even still, they're still kind of not giving him the full credit he deserves, but I'm sure his family's a little happier than normal. Christopher Nolan produces, and you gotta kind of wonder what in the fuck did he contribute. This is a guy who made The Dark Knight, revolutionized Batman for us, made us want to get in the Batman fucking scene again, made us excited to see a Batman movie again, and I don't know what the fuck happened. He just sort of, with this movie, he went downhill. I don't know. He may have just been a producer on paper. And who else? David S. Goyer. So, David S. Goyer, like I said, has had some... I think he wrote Blade. Blade is an amazing fucking comic book movie. And just an amazing movie. And it was arguably one of the first comic book movies that was really successful apart from Superman and Batman. This was sort of one of the first Marvel movies that was really successful. And, I mean, Wesley Snipes was perfect. I think David S. Goyer also directed Blade Trinity, which is okay. Not the greatest, but it's okay. Okay, so what did I like? And I'm aware I left some people out in the cast. I will bring them up in the bad parts. Bear with me. What did I like? I liked the dynamic between Batman and Alfred. Thought that was great. I was more interested in those scenes and any scene with Batman than I was with anything else in the movie. And there's a lot of anything else. Like, they peppered in Batman and in this good enough, but, you know, on one hand, it felt like the movie was trying to just be a Batman solo film, and Superman happened to be in it, as well as it tried to look like it was a proto-Justice League movie, which was unnecessary. It also felt like the closest we'd get to a Man of Steel 2, which technically it really should be. There's talk of them making a Man of Steel 2. You know what? You're being stupid. You should have just titled this Man of Steel 2. Dawn of Justice, fucking Batman v Superman and Dawn of Justice is just too long of a title, and it doesn't work. Okay, so, did I like anything else? Wonder Woman was great. I talked about Wonder Woman already. She was great in this. It made me actually look forward to seeing a Wonder Woman movie. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot I can appreciate. Oh, actually, I really liked the beginning of this movie, where it shows the ending of Man of Steel and how at the exact same time, while Superman is fighting General Zod and destroying Metropolis in the process, at the end of Man of Steel, it shows Bruce Wayne going through the streets in a car and running in Metropolis and reacting to the fight, and it makes sense while he's angry. He's just, you know, friends of his died, Wayne Tower fucking was destroyed, so business-wise he's pissed off, and personal-wise he's really upset, and also he doesn't know who the fuck this Superman is. The reason why Batman is upset and doesn't trust Superman makes a lot of sense. It goes with the character to a certain degree, where he is like, this guy could wipe out a whole fucking planet. We don't know him. What if he turns bad? We can't take that risk. We have to make sure he, you know, one, he's on our side. Two, we have the resources to end him if necessary. Batman had a whole dossier of all the members of the Justice League, including himself, of all the strengths and weaknesses. So if they ever turned bad, he knew how to fucking end them. That is pure Batman. So I liked the inspiration for his anger. I mean, since I'm still on pros, I mean, Batfleck I'm going to keep calling him Batfleck. I like the voice modulator. I thought that was brilliant that they used that. It was needed to be done. I did not like Bale's Cookie Monster, "Where's the trigger?" voice. Did not work for me. It sounded stupid. It sounded ridiculous. But the voice modulator thing made a whole lot of sense. Eventually some person was going to be like, Batman sounds a lot like Bruce Wayne, doesn't he? So at some point, someone would say that. And the voice modulator makes a lot of sense, and I was all for it. I think it's a brilliant idea. And he's essentially, to a slight degree, Batman is the, Tony Stark of DC. He is an inventor. He is a genius. He would have made a gadget which would fuck with his voice. He's also trying to remain hidden, unlike Tony Stark. Tony Stark says, "I am Iron Man." When Batman says, "I'm Batman," he's not saying, "I'm also Bruce Wayne." There's a difference. So I liked his physique. I thought he looks like he can actually beat the shit out of Henry Cavill. He looks like he could beat the shit out of anybody in this movie. And I liked his veracity. In a weird way, this Batman is kind of like if you combine Bane and Batman of The Dark Knight Rises. He has an impressive physique. He's got a weird raspy voice modulator thing that distorts his voice. His fighting is more fluid and improvised as opposed to the rigid, choreographed fighting that Bale and all the other Batmans had to employ. It looks stiff. It looks wooden. Even if they're doing martial arts, it just looks fake. This Batman had... honestly, this is my favorite scene in the whole movie, and I mentioned it in the Dark Knight Rises one. My favorite part of this whole movie is the warehouse fight scene. I'll explain why, I guess. Martha Kent gets kidnapped. He has to go. Batman decides he's going to be the one to fucking save her and shit. Fucking Martha. Well, the negatives are coming, guys. Bear with me. But he, takes on like 20 fucking guys, and he fights like how he does in the Arkham video games, how we imagine him fighting in the comics, on the animated shows. It looks fluid. He's getting injured too. People are shooting him in the back of the head, and it's just bouncing off his cowl, which looks... it's got to have some thin type of mesh to deflect, I guess. He gets stabbed in the shoulder at one point by a knife. He uses his grapple gun, grabs a guy from across the room, and pulls him and kicks him in the face. He throws a guy clear through a wall. He takes on 3 guys all at once, and they're all... all have knives, and they're all trying to grab him, and he just blocks them each one. He's on the floor. Best fighting I've ever seen. Now, granted, there are some hokey moments with Batman that I was just like, eesh. One major criticism, alright, I guess I'll give the negatives. One major criticism I have for this film is there are too many dream sequences or nightmares. You're not sure what's real, whether it was a dream or whether it was a premonition. And you could tell they're very much trying to get all cleared up and setting up for the Justice League. Subtlety, guys. You don't have to make a whole dream sequence, 3 no less, to build up for your sequel. It really doesn't work. And I'm going to unfortunately have to talk about each dream sequence. Number 1. Actually, I guess there's 4. Because the beginning of the film shows the death of Thomas and Martha Wayne again. How many times we gotta see these poor motherfuckers get gunned down by a criminal in Crime Alley? Do we need to see young Bruce Wayne fucking screaming in pain and agony and heartbreak of seeing his parents die? Please, for the love of Batman, stop killing his fucking parents on screen. We get it. We know about his parents' death more than our relatives' death sometimes. I mean, it's done. It's overdone. Now, I get why they had to include it, but that just pisses me off even more. Is they used it for a gimmick that was really, really fucking stupid. But I'm saving that for last. So, the end of that dream sequence, it shows him or the murder, and that's the opening montage of the credits and everything. And fucking Negan looks over at fucking, what's her fuck from Walking Dead. They're both from Walking Dead, ironically enough. And he says, Martha. Wait, it's coming later. It's coming. And then it shows a funeral. Bruce gets upset, runs the fuck away, falls into the cave. Bats come and swarm him, and the bats, as they circle him, make him float up and he's just sort of floating. And I remember sitting there just like, oh fuck, what are you guys doing? He doesn't fly. What did you? Oh, it's a dream. Okay, good. And I get it's symbolic, but come on. You're just trying to be visual. I get it, but it wasn't needed. Okay, so that's Dream Sequence 1. Dream Sequence 2 is known as Nightmare Batman, and it's spelled K for nightmare, like the Dark Knight. This is very unexplained. We have no clue whether it's a dream or a nightmare or a vision or a premonition. We have no clue. But what happens is it's a post-apocalyptic type world. Batman is out in the daylight, which is fucking bizarre. He's got the Batman suit, but he also has a big brown leather duster. He's also got goggles because presumably the desert wasteland has a lot of, dust and sand in his face. Okay, fine. Then it shows him meeting up with someone to get a delivery, someone who's on his side. He thinks he's going to get kryptonite, so he opens the package. He sees a green glow. He looks at the package. It's a green light bulb. He's been had, and his men get gunned down, and the fucking most ridiculous part of Batfleck's in this is with the voice modulator deepening his voice and graveling it. He yells, "No!" It's like, "No!" And I was, what the fuck? Dude, stop. That was ridiculous. And then he goes out, kicks these motherfuckers' asses, shoots at them. He pulls out a handgun and shoots at fucking dudes. Now, anybody who knows Batman knows that is a big no-no in Batman world. Batman would never do that. He despises guns. Granted, in the comics, in the very beginning, in the first, 5 issues or something, he did have a gun. And then he made an honest decision to be like, you know what? I can't have guns anymore. I don't want to kill. I should not be killing. I should try and just stop crime, but without killing, no killing. That's been his number one rule since then. And many Batman films have ignored that fucking rule, but not as blatant as this one. I even acknowledge that in the Nolan universe, he tries to kill as little as possible. He saved the Joker from falling to his death. They got that aspect right. This one, because they're taking inspiration from Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns Batman, is very much I'm a little older, I don't have a whole lot of patience, I'll kill you. Okay, I can handle that. I really can. Seeing him with a gun and shooting at people and not using a gun, like a sniper rifle with a fucking, line so he can walk across. That's a little bit more of what Batman's style is. So, as he's fighting and shooting people in the desert, all of a sudden fucking parademons come. Parademons are sort of the infantrymen, and they're winged fucking alien demon things with wings and flying and shit. And they're Darkseid's minions, essentially. Darkseid is essentially the Thanos of the DC world. He's the big bad. He's gonna be the big bad against Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and Justice League and all that shit. They're really rushing this shit. But they're desperate, man. They really should have gone the whole route of one movie per character, then have them all together, then have them have the big bad, and they could have done it better. We wouldn't have given them shit, but we're giving them shit for making it all in one film. It's just stupid. So he kind of wakes up from that, and then there's another nightmare where he goes to his mother's and father's crypt, and he sees blood or blackish blood dripping from like the crypt wall, and then all of a sudden a giant bat creature thing, which is probably Man-Bat, busts through the crypt, grabs him and bites him in the neck, and then he wakes up. Okay. If that's symbolic of Batman is taking over and he's getting afraid, you're shitting on the character again. There's just too many dream sequences. None as more confusing as the one with the Flash. That's right, I said the Flash. The Flash is in this. Kinda. This is like the Flash if the Flash's armor was made by Iron Man. It's very high tech and very robotic. It kind of meshes and it looks stupid. It really looks stupid. And Bruce is at his desk and he's working and he's tired, and all of a sudden, crack of thunder and lightning in his room. Fucking papers are flying everywhere, and the Flash bursts in and says, "I'm too late. Am I too late? Oh my God, I'm too late. Okay, it's Lois. You were right about him. Lois is the key, but you were right." And then he wakes up. There's still papers floating around. So with that impression, you're given the impression that it was true, that the Flash did just visit him from the future to warn him in the past, saying, "You know what? You're right. Blah, 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 blah." Doesn't explain anything. We'll probably get an understanding later in Justice League or Justice League Part 2. And then we're going to be like, oh, so that's what that was about. Well, why the fuck did you put that in? I mean, come on. If you're going to make a big scene and then not explain it as well, or not even give us the clue, be like, just wait. Like, I know it's kind of hard to believe now, but just wait. But they won't do that. So there's a lot of problems with that. Alright. I'm just going to say this. Whoever decided to cast Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor clearly does not know who the fuck Lex Luthor is. And they really should have stopped his decision at Lex Luthor being acted by Eisenberg as a tweaked out fucking guy who wants to be your friend. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, compared Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor to Heath Ledger's Joker. You clearly did not watch the same fucking movie I did, because I watched the Joker in The Dark Knight and I was captivated and enthralled and mystified with him. I want more of him. I never want to see Eisenberg's Lex Luthor again, and I know I'm going to have to at some point. It really is unfortunate, because Eisenberg can act. I thought he was great in The Social Network. A little reserved, but I thought he was great. But he very much came off as the cokehead at the bar who really wants to be your friend. He's like, hey, how are you? I got some stuff with the other girl. You want to do some coke? You're just like, dude, I just want to enjoy my drink. I don't know what the fuck you're on. I'm sure you're having a good time, but I don't really want to be your friend. Oh, want to be my friend? No, dude. I don't want to be your friend. Oh yeah, I just love bringing people together. Dude, you're not fucking listening to me. Ahoy hoy. At one point, he fucking says ahoy hoy. What? Who the fuck says ahoy hoy? And he goes, ah, like he has like weird tics, and you know what? He's not the. To make him like a weird, creepy Zuckerberg or a Bill Gates, like the newer generation's nerd, was not smart. Get anybody else. One, the fact that he had long hair aggravated me to no end. And yeah, they didn't shave his head off at the end. Shave his hair off at the end. Did I say shave his head off? Oh man, I wish they did. Just fucking be done. Done with your shit. But you know what? It's a staple to Luther. He's supposed to be bald. Get Bryan Cranston. Get fucking Joaquin Phoenix. Get anybody. Get fucking. Who's available who's not in Marvel? You can go, honestly, Kevin Spacey I actually thought was a great Lex Luthor. Put him back. Who says Lex Luthor and Superman have to be the same age, more or less? Lex Luthor could be older. He was in the original Superman. Yeah, man. He just was tweaked out. I didn't like it. I didn't like his acting. And it's disappointing. And him being responsible for creating Doomsday out of Zod's body. Oh, fuck. That aggravated me. The fact that they took a really interesting villain and shoved it in the last 30 minutes of the film when the movie was already 2 hours in length. Now they have to. The movie is Batman versus Superman, or Batman v Superman, not Superman versus every other motherfucker. Dawn of Justice. Yeah, no. Doomsday looked stupid. He looked like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with fucking spikes. He growled and grunted, and it just looked stupid. And they did a cop out, and they got greedy. They got really fucking greedy. I read a report that when the first cut of this movie came out, and the producers and heads of Warner Brothers saw it, they got up and applauded. What were you applauding? Have you guys seen your movies? You guys made it some great movies. You should know this was not going to be a great movie. Okay, another bad, and it's actually coming up on the screen right now. Another dream sequence, but thankfully it's Superman, but still really underused, really unnecessary. Added nothing significant to the storyline. It's Superman finding his dad, played by Kevin Costner, on top of a mountain, and he's dead. He died. He died in a fucking tornado in Kansas. Because that's what happens in Kansas. And way to fucking, shit on a good character. I didn't really realize this. I heard this from a podcast with Ralph Garman and Kevin Smith. And I was blown away by the realization of this character. Pa Kent, in his original death, he died of cancer. Especially in the movie. They go for a run and he fucking dies or not cancer, he dies of a heart attack. And you know what? That's a really good lesson for Superman. Which is, there's some things that you cannot stop. As powerful as you are, there's some things that you can just not, prevent. And that's a really good thing and makes Superman humble, and it's a good life lesson. But the way Pa Kent died in Man of Steel was a real fucking shit on the character. He died in a twister, and and Superman could have saved him. It was his he could have done it. Could have gotten there, picked him up, and gotten back. But it would reveal that he was an alien, and Pa Kent trying to and said, "No, don't do it. They're not ready." Fuck that, man. It was just a really way of trashing on a character. And you know what? I'm surprised Superman doesn't learn shit through the whole 2 movies that he's in. Because he didn't have a father figure to teach him the most important lesson is sometimes people die, whether you want them to or not. You can't save everybody. That's really important for a superhero to know. And none of these characters know that. None of them. Let me see if there's anything else I have to. So it's a 2.5 hour movie, and it feels like a 2.5 hour movie. There are some movies that are really long, but you're really into, and you're like, oh shit, that was 2.5 hours? I was so into that. This is not the case. This feels like, oh my God, when's this shit gonna fucking end? Alright. Apart from a convoluted plot, I'm ready. I don't need any more notes. Martha, Martha, Martha. So, their big twist for this movie was that, and I'm surprised I actually never made this connection. I'm surprised a lot of people didn't make this connection. Batman and Superman's mothers, in Superman's case, his adoptive mother, are both named Martha. Martha Wayne, Martha Kent. Okay. So, beginning of the film, like I said, they showed Batman's parents dying again. Thomas Wayne looks over and says, Martha, and then dies, as she dies. And Martha Kent gets kidnapped by fucking Eisenberg, Lex Luthor. And at this point, Eisenberg, Lex Luthor, wants to pit Batman and Superman to fight against each other. Doesn't really explain why. He doesn't specify who he wants to win. He actually kind of says to Superman, I want you to get the head of the bat and bring him to me and you'll get your mother back. So, what's the point? His enemy is Superman. Why does he want Batman to die? Is it just a business thing because LexCorp and Wayne Industries are clashing or something? Really unclear of his motive. And he's very against Superman. He's like, angels don't come from... devils don't come from beneath us. They come from the sky, alluding to Superman's flight. Okay? His reasoning and wanting of them to fight just doesn't make any sense. Also, I'm pretty pissed off that Lex Luthor knows who the fuck Bruce Wayne's identity is. And he, sends him cryptic messages like, you let your family die, nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. What in the fuck? Why? How does he know? They never reveal that. They left a lot of shit unexplained, which is funny because they over-explained and hinted at everything fucking else. So, Batman gets his fucking giant metal super suit. He's got kryptonite. Kryptonite's featured in this, finally. He fucks Superman up. Despite the title being Batman vs. Superman, it takes them about 2 hours to fight, and they fight for about a total of 10 minutes. The fucking fight between Captain America and Iron Man was longer in Captain America Civil War. The whole airplane fight scene in Civil War was fucking more entertaining and longer than a movie called Batman v Superman. It was just... Stupid title. Again, really fucking stupid title. God damn it. It pisses me off. So he's got his kryptonite and his fucking armor, and he fucking takes on Superman, fucks him up. And that was cool. That was great to see. He has his kryptonite spear. He's about to stab Superman. And Superman says, "You need to save Martha." And Batman goes, "What did you say? Why did you say that name? Why did you say that name?" Just goes fucking berserk. And then Lois Lane comes out of nowhere and says, "It's his mother's name." Yeah. And then Batman realizes, oh my god, he has a mother. And that mother has the same name as my mother. We're more alike than we thought. Well, fucking duh, dude. He's an alien, but he's been raised since essentially birth in Kansas. There's nothing more American than him. And then he goes berserk over Martha. And then they immediately, their fucking feud is squashed. Which is just stupid. And then he says, let me save Martha for you. Martha won't die tonight. And I get it. He's trying to save a Martha. He couldn't save his mother. So he's going to save this other dude's mother, who is a mother named Martha. So it's the closest thing he can ever get to saving his mother. Not really, though. So then he goes to... That's that warehouse scene. He saves Martha, and he says something really fucked up, where as he saves her, he's like, "It's okay. I'm a friend of your son's." And she's like, "I figured, the cape." When were you a fucking friend of her son's? About 30 seconds after you tried to kill him? Forever? Like, bad dialogue. I said this in my last video, and I really have to say it again. Warner Brothers, DC, whatever. We are not fucking stupid. You cannot pull that shit on us. Once you've caught up, we've caught up. We know what's going to we knew what's going to happen. Granted, we could not have expected you would go this route and be Martha. You guys became a fucking joke, man. It pisses me off because, I just watched a lot of, Batman movies. Fuck, dude. This is such a disappointment. Honestly, if it wasn't for Batman and Wonder Woman, I would fucking give this movie a 1-star rating. That's how much it aggravates me. You guys think that we're stupid. We're not stupid. We're fans. We supply your business. We go to your tickets. We buy your tickets. We go see your movies. We fucking buy your merchandise because we're fans and we can overlook certain things. But we can't overlook Martha, ever. It was bad. It was a bad idea. I don't know who to blame. I don't know whose fault it was. If he had just said something akin to another method of showing Batman that he actually was a hero. That he was a good man. That would have been acceptable. We would have accepted that. Not this Martha bullshit. So, on that note, I'm going to end it. I can't talk about it anymore. I'm looking forward to Justice League, but I'm not. At the same time, I'm a fan, and that's my point, is we're fans. Even through the worst of it, we will continue to support you, but you can't take us for granted. Our patience and our tolerance are stretched thin. But Batfleck was amazing. On that note, please subscribe and like and comment and share. Martha fucking Martha. Bye, guys.